All right, guys, good morning. Welcome to the first episode of Tuesday at 10 for 2026. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Good to see you guys. So let's go ahead and get started with some wins. We were talking here, getting started. I understand, Liz, you've had some buyer consultations and some stuff going on. You have some clients in the works. I don't know about y'all, but I'm seeing a huge uptick in activity. I feel like we can't even keep up with it right now, which is fantastic. I think it's going to be a great year. So let's go ahead and start with some wins. Liz, how did your buyer appointment go? Everything looking
It
good? Are you going to be
it
working with
went
this person?
fantastic. Yes, it
Good.
went fantastic. He was a little bit reluctant to sign buyer agreement, and I understand it's very difficult when you meet someone for the very first time to say, "Hey, I fully trust you 100% to help me buy the biggest investment I've ever made," right? And he'd had a little bit of a bad experience, and I'm not really here to talk too much, a whole lot about that, but it's what made him a little bit reluctant. And I believe in one of the last meetings we had in here, it was the person who was bothered by his previous agent taking advantage of showing homes, but also creating content for
That's right.
social
Yep.
media. He did not like that, so he specifically requested he did not want for me to do that if he hired me. So this week he hired me, and so that's a win, and we're going to move forward. So I will honor and respect his wishes there, and go on with business. Right? That's what we do. We have to do some customer service. We have plenty of other time on the side to do social media content. Right?
For sure. Well, good. Well, congratulations. Glad you locked in. Sounds like a good client. And Josie, how are you doing over there? How's everything going in your neck of the woods? I like your office setup. It looks real nice. I like your jerseys there in the back, sporting
No,
the
thank you.
the old motocross Reese family legacy. I love that.
I know. Super excited about it. No, new office, we did. But no, things are good. But as you said, it's picking up. So we've been getting a lot of really good stuff happening here in the valley. I was participating in a lofty zip blast, and that's been really good. I think over the past couple of months, we've received about 120 leads. Not all like warm leads, but what is a lead at the end of the day? It's a name and a phone number and an email address. So, if it doesn't come to fruition with anything, at least it's another email address for the mailer. And who knows, they may know somebody who is looking and things like that. But the zip code, lofty zip blast is really moving. So it's good. Big uptick with that.
Awesome. Good. And Daniel, how are things going in your neck of the woods? I know you have a lot of stuff going on. How's everything? Give us the latest for the new year. How are we getting started?
Yeah, it's been juggling a lot of different clients, just waiting on clients to decide which one is the one. That's kind of where I am right now. Submitted two verbal offers yesterday. Waiting on one response, and if that's looking good, we'll put it on paper. But that's the way the client wanted to handle it, so I'm just here for the ride. But it's going to be a great year. I can sense the momentum as well. And I think that there's just activity in the air, which is good because last year was, a little bit stagnant here and there. Although luckily, knock on wood, we did decently well. But looking forward to this year for sure.
Awesome. Well, like I saw that Ricky Caruth was talking about, that the realtors that have made it through the past 2 years, that it's been one of the most challenging times in real estate ever. So he was even saying if your agent was helping you during the years of 2023 to 2025, you should refer them to everybody because they're the real resilient agents that have been able to weather the storm. And it was a challenge. Last year was a challenge, but if these first 6 days of 2026 are any indication of what the year is going to be like, it's going to be a whirlwind. Even today, I just got a confirmation. I have a listing appointment this afternoon. I have a buyer consultation today at 12:30. Over the weekend, it was nonstop. So now we're covering Brownsville, we're covering Harlingen, we're covering Westaco, Edinburgh, McAllen. So we're going to be putting some miles on the cars this year, but it's going to be great because the opportunity is wide open right now. And I think buyers are understanding where we are in the market. And, like Daniel called me earlier today, we were talking about it. And I know, Daniel, one of your verbal offers, the seller, the seller's feeling real confident. They just hit the market. They've had a lot of showings. You know what I mean? So all those are great telltale signs of a market that's on the rebound or, getting ready to just completely blow wide open. So I think it's
If you
going to be a
wanted,
great year. I'm super excited for it.
if you wanted to get into the numerology and astrology of everything, 2026, the numerology of 2026 is number one, which is focused on action, new beginnings, and external movement. Last year, 2025, was a liminal year. It was a numerology number of 9, which faced a lot of challenges, which is why a lot of us were kind of in that challenge, lack, and really kind of beating the wall. So 2026 astrologically, in that sense, is going to be a great year.
Good to
Just
know.
letting you know.
Good to know. And the other cool thing, and I'm really excited about this, is and I've been looking forward to it for a couple of years now, especially last year. But 2026 marks Daniel and I's 10th year in real estate. So we've been in real estate since 2016. And I don't know how 10 years have gone by just like that. I feel like we're just getting our feet under us, and getting some momentum going. And I feel like we're still building. And I'm super excited about that. But now we can confidently say that we've been in the business 10 years.
That's
So I
crazy.
think that's a big, big perk.
And I haven't aged a day. That's
And well, I know. Well, Josie's already 5 years or is it 6 years?
6 years.
6 years. My gosh. Can't believe it. Josie's been on permanent spring break for 6 years. She went on spring break from her corporate job and she never went back. She's been on spring break for 6 years. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
I don't know if that's something to
I don't
celebrate.
know if we want to call it spring break.
Well, cool. Well, I just have the other exciting thing is I think we're bringing on a couple new agents here this week, so that's exciting. One of the agents was actually one of Daniel's previous investment clients, and he's going to be a great resource. I can't wait to tap into his knowledge and have him share. I mean, he talk about a guru. He's a guru in investments, wholesaling, investment properties, buy and holds, fix and flips. And this guy's he's a young guy, entrepreneurial spirit. So we're real excited to learn from him. And then I have another gentleman getting ready to sign up. Well, actually, he has signed up. He just needs to move his license. He has a huge experience in generating business in the audio visual world. So, like the big conferences that we go to and stuff like that, they have the big screens and the cameras and everything like that. That was his job for many, many years. And he's getting ready to bring that expertise to the real estate world. So, he has a huge sales background. And so, yeah, it's exciting. We're bringing on some good agents. We got some good momentum on the sales side. So it's going to be a fantastic year. So cool. So just real quick, we'll see if anyone else is going to pop on, but I just have something that I wanted to share with everybody to help you kickstart the new year. And, just like everyone has right in front of them, we all have our phones. We're on our phones all the time. For many people, the preferred method of communication is text message. If you need to get something out to them quickly, sometimes people will say, "Why did you call me? You should have texted me." You know what I mean? So I feel like texting is a huge avenue for reinvigorating those relationships, getting those people back into communication, into engagement. So I have a little quick five or six slides here to share, and I'm going to share it in the Familia page so everybody can use it, copy the text, and all that stuff. But real quick, I just want to talk about 4 text messages that we can send, and we can start sending them today, and it doesn't feel like prospecting. because nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to be pestered. Nobody wants to hear, are you looking to sell this year? Are you ready to buy? Although we want to have those conversations, it needs to happen organically. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick. And we're going to talk about 4 text messages that don't feel like prospecting. So can you all see my screen? Everything good? Awesome. So these are 4 text messages that don't feel like prospecting, because the whole goal here, we want to have a huge year. If you did 4 transactions last year, we want to help you do 8. If you did 8, we want to help you do 16. You did 16, we want to help you do 40. You did 40, we want to help you do 70, 80, whatever it is. So we want to help everyone get back into production, up their production for 2026. So here's some text messages that you can send out starting today. No scripts, no pressure, just real reasons to reach out to people and get them going. So here's strategy number 1, market touch point check-in. And here's the message, and I'm going to share the verbatim messages. Hey, I've been having a few conversations about the market, and it made me think of you. How have things been going on your end? You know, we've all been talking to people that are waiting for the right time, waiting for interest rates. Maybe they're in a good interest rate in the home that they're currently living in. But this sparks curiosity. It gives you a reason to reach out without asking for business. And you'll notice that these text messages are not asking for business up front. And that's very important, because it's about sparking the communication first, reigniting that dialogue, and then, and you'll see at the end, you want the real estate communication to happen organically, naturally. So it feels relevant, it's not random, creates an easy pivot if they ask a question, and it opens the door for natural conversation. So I think this one's a really good one. Here's number 2, local insight. Quick question. Have you noticed how things are shifting around in Woodridge, in Treasure Hills, in Harlingen, in Chavano Park, wherever you might be reaching out to this person? I've been getting a lot of mixed takes. You know, people see a lot of activity in their neighborhood, and right away they want to know, what did that house sell for? I wonder what they got for their house. I wonder what we could get for our house. So I feel like this is really powerful if you've been working an area, if you've been working your own neighborhood, if you've been farming an area. This gets people wondering, because everybody, I can guarantee this, everybody always wants to know what's going on in my neighborhood. The first thing we always hear is, oh, that the neighbor's house went up for sale. Oh, around the corner, did you see the house went up for sale? I love having conversations with Daniel's mother-in-law, because I feel like she knows every house that hits the market, like before it even hits the market. You know, they're always, oh, they're getting ready to sell. And I heard that they, you know, so I think this is a great local insight text to get people talking about their immediate area, and just see what they say. Have you noticed how things are shifting around in the neighborhood? There's a lot of activity. What are your takes? What do you think about it? So people love sharing their opinions about their local area, invites genuine dialogue, and naturally leads to value-based follow-up conversation. Now, I love this one too, because us as agents, we need to be resources. And sometimes this is a challenge, because we get people asking us a lot of questions, and sometimes we don't know the answer, but we can always find out. So, hey, hope you're doing well. I've been connecting a few people with local vendors. Anything you've needed a recommendation for lately? I kind of think of this one as a virtual door knock. You know, when you're walking an area and you knock on the door and someone answers, say, hey, you have a beautiful home here. Are there any projects that you wanted to have done lately? Right? I feel like this kind of just gets that open conversation. Hey, have you been looking for a plumber, an electrician, a roofer, a landscaper, a lawn guy? You know, Josie and I just moved into a new house, and we're in a neighborhood group text, and I feel like I'm asking questions all the time. Who's a good lawn guy? I need a good person for some landscaping. You know, who's a good plumber to tighten up some stuff? You know, having those resources in your local area is a huge plus. So it positions you as helpful rather than hunting for business. Works especially well with homeowners and opens multiple non-real estate conversations that build trust. So I think this is a cool resource, especially for past clients or maybe clients that you've just closed on or clients that you're recently shopping with. Maybe they're looking to get their home ready to sell and they need some recommendations for contractors or someone to spruce up their property. And the last one here, number 4, the soft, personal, professional blend. Hey, I'm just checking in between work and everything else. It feels like things are moving fast. How have you been? And this is a big deal because this just shows your genuine side. How are you doing? I'm not asking for business. I just feel like things have been going fast. You could even throw in, hey, just checking in between work and everything. It's a brand new year. It feels like things are moving quickly. How have you been? And just these little things get you back to top of mind. It gets you back in front of these people that you maybe have not touched base with in a while. Perfect for balanced human approach. Wonderful when there's been a long gap. Sets up genuine conversation without any sales pressure. So I love this one. And here's the real strategy here. Daily volume. Send 5 to 10 of these each day. We all have hundreds or thousands of contacts in our phone or in our CRM. Get the text message and actually send these. Don't send them through a CRM. Send them from your phone. Send them from your phone number, not your business phone number. Keep it conversational and resist the urge to push for immediate action. It even says right here, no same day follow-ups. Sometimes we send a text message and we get frustrated because we don't get a response. You have to resist the urge to push. Let it breathe for a while. People like to go back in the evening or the next day and they say, oh, I forgot to get back to Elizabeth. I forgot to get back to Josie. Let me text her back. She was asking some questions. Respond like a human. Don't sound like a CRM. Be authentic. And then here's what we talked about at the beginning. Let the real estate conversation come naturally. If the topic comes up, great. If not, you've still strengthened the relationship. Back to Ricky Carruth, it's relationships over transactions. When you have great relationships with your customers and with your clients, the transactions happen naturally. Those are going to be your best cheerleaders, your best referral partners. So here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Old prospecting, we're always hunting, scripted, immediate asking for business, which in a lot of cases comes across pushy, feels transactional, and you have a high rejection rate. The new approach, build and nurture those relationships. It's authentic and natural. You're not asking for business immediately. It's genuine, and you're going to have a high engagement rate because people are going to respond to you when you're reaching out to them like a real person. So when the real estate conversation comes up organically, people are ready to talk to you, and you've already established your trust without the pressure. So this is what's different about them. It's the conversation over the conversion, value before business, and long-term thinking. Not every text has to result in a listing or a buyer today. The consistent, authentic outreach compounds over time, and it's going to result in repeat business. So I think these are big aspects to reestablishing those relationships. Higher response, your relationship always wins, and the transactions will follow. And you have your 5 to 10 daily touch points. This is taking care of your prospecting without actually prospecting and calling expireds and call. These are calling people that you know, they like you, they trust you, you've done business with them, maybe you're neighbors with them. Whatever the case is, it's going to get those people that know you, like you, and trust you back on their radar, which is the most important thing. So choose a message type, send it to 5 people, get started with it today. I posted a video yesterday, Tony Robbins talking about massive action. It doesn't need to be perfect, but do something. You have to start immediately, and you'll start figuring it out, and things will tighten up as you go. Build a habit, make it part of your routine, drink your coffee, send your 5 to 10 texts, no pressure, reestablishing that connection, and track what's working. See which messages get the best response, refine your approach, and be authentic, real, and genuine. In 2026, the agents who win are the ones who build real relationships, not the ones who prospect the hardest. Because if that was the case, everyone, all these dialers, we all get these spam calls 50 times a day. If the real conversion was how many calls you made, everyone would just get multi-line dialers dialing tens and hundreds of thousands of numbers. I can't tell you how many times I get so frustrated and Josie gets mad at me because these people call and I'm just like, oh my God, I lose it. I immediately block the number, report it as junk. I mean, it's crazy. So it's not about just prospecting for the sake of prospecting. It's about building those relationships. And that's what's going to convert into real estate conversations. Cool. Good stuff. What do y'all think? What are y'all's opinions on it? Which one did y'all like the most, or which one do you think is a little cheesy, or which one do you think y'all could take away and use?
I love this. This is like the real estate side of things that I love and I connect with, like um Alan and Daniel, they're obviously very successful and they are go-getters. Like they are hustlers. They are working from when they wake up to when they go to bed. And I have like a different approach, like I love personality tests. So on the DISC personality test, like the driver is my lowest one. Like I always consider myself like not a good salesman. I'm not a pushy salesman. I'm more of a person who likes to connect with people and learn about them and learn about their family and kind of just let things organically happen. So this kind of presentation and these different options on how to reconnect with people align more with who I am as an agent, as opposed to a lot of the times where I see from these high performance coaches that are like, sell, hustle, hustle, hustle. And that doesn't resonate with me as a person. It's great for other personality types, but my personality type leans more towards this. So this has been extremely helpful. And as we were going through it, I was already thinking of clients and connections that I need to check in with and which one that I should be sending them today. So it's very helpful. I'm going to be using this a lot.
Great, great. What do y'all think? What do you think, Liz, Daniel? What do y'all think?
Yeah, I
I
like oh, go ahead, Liz.
no good. No, you're good. Go ahead.
I like the one that's asking about, do you need any assistance with any of our resources? As agents, we have, you know, 30 different companies on our Rolodex, and I think that that's a great resource for people.
Daniel, you still carry a Rolodex? Golly,
I miss
man.
Rolodexes.
Daniel, you don't
We
look old enough to know what a Rolodex is yet.
we were
What?
watching The Sopranos the other night, and one of the characters, one of the cast members, was like going through a Rolodex, and I was like, God, we really need Rolodexes again.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you what. The old-fashioned way of doing business in a lot of specific ways, the old-fashioned way of doing business is the way that people like to do it. For example, Daniel messaged me the other day, and it just reminded me, I still haven't sent it to him. Daniel wanted some printouts because Daniel wants to start organizing his real estate clients and customers in a three-ring binder. He wants a printout, one for each client, and he wants to write notes and dates, and he wants to be able to organize them in a three-ring binder. Hey, whatever works for you. I still love physical calendars.
Subconsciously, that helps when you write it down and you see it and everything. It helps you maintain memory about people, and it's
Yeah,
it's a
for sure.
great
So
it's a great
hey,
thing.
so hey, Dan, if you need to go find a Rolodex, man, I mean, I'm sure you
I'm
could
not,
find
Let
one.
me know
not
where you
opposed
get one.
I'm not opposed to it. I think, the phone and everything is very convenient and useful, but I think for certain things it's nice to be able to just look at something,
Of course.
and something that you wrote and something you can interact with. We're
Well,
on our
hey,
we're on our phones enough. It's like let's put the phone down and okay, where's our business? What are we doing?
well,
So
have y'all seen what's on a huge resurgence right now? Barnes and Noble bookstores.
really, yeah. I
People,
Yes.
Yes.
think
people
I
are
think
wanting that physical.
I think people are tired of their phones, man. I think that there's a fatigue going on, and yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not a reader, but I might go to Barnes and Nobles today. It's like
Collectively,
we all need
yeah.
a change here. you know?
Collectively as a society, we're leaning back more towards analog culture because of what you said. Like we have technology fatigue,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so whatever's going to help, you know, I still carry journals and notebooks and I write everything down, and Alan still loves his physical planner and whatever helps. And I love Barnes and Noble. You should go.
Yeah, so and Liz, if you want a copy of these two, Alan, if you can send it to both of us.
Yeah, of
So do you remember Rick Tankersley, Elizabeth?
course.
Does does he ring a bell?
The name does.
He was our old broker at EXP. And he was a great teacher, and we got together like once or twice a month with him, and he did masterminds and stuff. And one of his sheets was a lead sheet, and you'd have the name, and it was just a bunch of blank lines. And for each line, you write, "I met with Joshua today. He likes the home on 123 Main Street. Not offering yet, but he's talking to a lender." And then next sheet, someone else. And you just have your 10 clients and exactly where they are. And you're
Hmm.
not like, what was that seventh client doing? It's like it's right here. It's right here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
so part
that's what I need to get into, because right now I'm a little lost. I have a lot going on and I'm like, who do I need to, so it's like if you could send that to me, I can't find it anywhere. I've been looking in my email. I've been looking in my old computer bag too. I can't find them. So if you have one, Alan, send it to us
I
because I
will.
want to get those going, please.
Yeah, and the methodology behind it, just to give you a background, Liz, is you take you have your lead sheet, and what you do is you get 31 dividers. Okay. 31 dividers in your binder. And it's called a 131 binder. And you have the first, second, third, all the way to 31 days. So let's say today's the 6th. And let's say you get a call from a client and his name is Joe Smith, whatever. Joe Smith, new client, January 6th. Spoke to him on the phone, wants me to reconnect with them on Thursday at 6 p.m. Okay. So you write down your note today. Then what you do is you actually take that sheet, take it out of the binder, put it on Thursday's date in that uh, divider for Thursday's date. So every day, and that's the active movement in that 131 file. For example, here's another example. Let's say you had a showing today with Maria, whatever. Maria had a showing today. She's going to talk it over and she's going to let me know tomorrow if she wants to submit an offer. Cool. You take the sheet from today, put it on tomorrow's date. So when you wake up in the morning and you open the date for today, you have all your customers for that day. And when you turn the next one, it's like, oh, I need to call Joe today. He told me to call him Thursday at 6 because I moved the sheet to Thursday's date. So it really is an analog way to do it. What day do I need to call him? Do I need to call him tomorrow? Do I need to call him on Saturday? Do I need to call him in 2 weeks? Do I need to call him at the end of the month? You take that lead sheet and you put it in that date divider.
And see, I knew that that was the name of it, but I didn't know that that was
That's the
the flow.
methodology
Yeah.
behind it to keep everything so that way when tomorrow's the 7th, you go to your binder and you open up January 7th and here's all my to-dos for today. And if they don't answer, you can't reach them, then you put it on the 8th. And then you try them again tomorrow. They don't answer, you put them again on the 9th. And it keeps every sheet moving. And the objective is to move the client from, or the person from a customer to a client to a contract to a closing. And you just move them through your binder throughout the month.
Yeah.
So, I
That's
mean,
good. Yeah, because I mean, I just want to have something to where it's like there's these 14 sheets. If these all close,
it's
that's
huge.
$120,000.
Correct.
You know, on these 14 sheets. I need
Yep.
to do everything in my power every day to make sure that these 14 people are moving in the right direction. Are we showing homes? Are they approved? What's going on? Like, and it's just right in front of you every day, you know?
Carry this thing with
And if
me.
they're falling off, if it's not working, take them out. If they're not responding to you anymore, they're not an active lead anymore. Take them out. And now
Yeah.
you have to,
Hey,
you
I love
know,
that leather. You have that leather bound journal, Josie. So Josie
Mhm.
made this from scratch. Check it out.
I made it from scratch.
Isn't that
oh,
pretty?
oh,
Yeah.
cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It goes with me everywhere. And I even have like a small one that goes in my purse that because I'm very much like you where something happens, like I need to write it down. I'm very much like my dad in that way. Like when he worked in law enforcement, he used to have those little spiral notebooks that he would keep in his front pocket with a pen, and something would happen and he would have to like write the report number down and stuff. So I'm very much like that where I'm like, just so I can, after a showing or something, I can write down things that I learned about the person at the showing or little takeaways, what they're kind of looking for, and then have something written down.
Well, cool. So yeah, I'll definitely send y'all that sheet. I know I have it in my files here, so I'll send it to y'all so y'all can use. But yeah, we have about another 10 minutes. I do have an 11:30 appointment, so in the last 10 minutes, wrapping up here for the first meeting. Does anyone have any questions or any takeaways or anything y'all want to discuss? What do y'all got going, Josie?
I have a couple of updates. The new information about broker services form has come out. It came out maybe last month, but Texas Realtors and Skype and stuff are really starting to crack down on it starting 2026. So the new form is ready. The form in zip form has been updated to the library. However, there is a typo. It says like brokers dudes instead of duties. So they are changing that, but just a heads up. And then I also did put a link to where you can download it in La Familia. So there, the Google Drive link from Karen Richards. So she has already proofread that one. She did change the typo and she did put in her information in there as well. So you can find that in La Familia. So just make sure that you update it and you put it on your social media pages and all that good stuff. So they are cracking down on it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, and then yeah, we need to be on the lookout for the new 2026 W9 as well. Has that been updated already? Do we know?
I checked yesterday. It still was not updated or
Okay.
uploaded as of yesterday, but I'll check again right now and let you know. Oh,
Okay.
and Trek right now is a current dumpster fire, but I did put helpful links in the La Familia page. So if you're having any issues with that, there is an email address that I posted that you can reach out to at Trek. They switched portals recently. So we were all notified about it via email, but nobody checks their email, which is, fine. But yes, so if you are trying to log into Track the old way, it's not going to work because they've switched to the new portal. But in La Familia, there's links to videos on like how to activate your account, how to renew your license, how to do all that, and an email address and contact info. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Trek directly. They are working through it. I do know that. There's been a little bit of a delay on some things with the holidays and them switching over. But when I did talk to them yesterday, they are working through the systems and the files.
I haven't been able to get a hold of them. I call their main number, but they don't provide an option to speak to someone. They direct you to send an email. And this was early December, and I still have not heard back email. And then one day, because I called several times throughout December, one day they did ask for a callback number. I mean, just the automated system, and I put my number, and I never got a call back. So it's been a little bit of a
They
challenge
are,
trying to
oh,
get.
yeah, they are overloaded, which is why they are asking for email addresses. it's easier for them to get through them with the email just because they are overloaded with calls. From one of the agents that are currently onboarding onto the team, they were in a similar situation. They did reach out to Trek prior to the new year, and Trek told them to request again because they could not see anything that was submitted prior to December 31st. So the portal, when the new year came, I guess they kind of lost a lot of data that was requested prior to the new year during that time frame. So you might want to reach out to them again with what you're needing via the email. I think it's realm portal at uh, trek.texas.gov, and it's on the post in the La Familia page. But yeah, you might need to resubmit because that's what they did tell our other agent. And then once he resubmitted it, they completed it yesterday.
Okay, fantastic. That's super helpful because I was getting nervous. I mean, I think I have time. I thought it was okay at the very beginning of December, but that's the first couple of days in December, I think, is when they shut down and went down and there was nobody to get a hold of. So that's super helpful.
Yeah, you're not the only one experiencing it. There's a lot of people are experiencing a delay.
Okay, cool, cool. Any other tidbits? Any other questions, concerns, big plans?
Yeah,
Anything
no,
else?
wanted to throw this out, Liz. We have our big lunch on Friday. So if you have any colleagues that you're aware of that could utilize the greatness of EXP, feel free to bring them along. And the lunch is real nice over there. It's buffet style. It's a real nice big room. So yeah, it'll be fun. We'll be over there. Come join us. Even if you don't have anyone to bring this month, just come anyway. Come hang out.
Where's this at? Is this at Stoneworks?
Correct.
This is at
Okay,
Stoneworks at the Vineyard off of Blanco at 1604.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I
No
do
to
have a
that,
quick question.
no new
It's not
W-9.
related to much of what we've been talking about, but this is just a question. I don't know if it's good for this meeting or offline, but I had somebody ask me. It's this new buyer that I have. Asked me. So he's pretty familiar with all the fees that he needs to be prepared with before home buying, inspection, and all that other jazz. So we have the HOA transfer fees. So he was asking if we can get the seller to pay his HOA transfer fees at the time of purchasing the home in the contract, you know.
Sure.
Um, so I, maybe that's a question for offline. Maybe there's a section that, you know,
Well, so it
not
should
the
be
HOA docs. I know the HOA docs get paid by the seller, but I've never been asked to have the seller pay HOA transfer fees.
okay. So it's a real easy workaround for that. Okay, on the addendum concerning the property subject to homeowners association,
Mm-hmm.
what you're going to check is the top box, and you're going to ask the seller to pay for the HOA docs. And paying for the HOA and the HOA docs and the transfer fee and everything, it's always negotiable. So all you're going to do is request that the seller. So in the first section of that addendum, you're going to request that the
Mm-hmm.
seller pay for the HOA docs. Now, when you're talking about the transfer fee, all you have to put in the section of that addendum that mentions who's going to pay the transfer fee, it mentions buyer will pay up to an amount of, and all you have to put is zero
Okay.
because the seller is responsible for paying the excess. As part of that clause, it says the seller will pay the excess. So if the buyer's paying zero, they're going to need a transfer, the HOA transfer fee. So if the buyer's paying zero, then the seller will be responsible for paying all of it.
Okay.
So that's all you have to do to request the seller to pay for the HOA docs, the resale cert,
Mm-hmm.
and the transfer fee.
The transfer fees. Okay.
Mhm.
Easy enough. All right. And then just one separate question quickly is, Daniel, I don't know, here in San Antonio, I don't know, I've had two people reach out to me and ask why they've received a separate tax bill. So these are people that have already purchased a home, whether it be in 2025, 2024, and they're receiving a separate tax bill. I believe one of them was almost $2,000 for one of my clients, and they did not know what all that was about. So I mean, all I did was refer them to just call the tax office. I don't
Yeah,
have
they'll
any.
have to just call the tax office. I'm not sure why that would happen.
Well,
Mhm.
and the other thing that they can check, Liz, is they can send that bill to their mortgage servicing company, because if the mortgage servicing company is collecting their taxes in escrow, then they probably just haven't paid the bill yet.
Okay.
You know, we're only in January, the 6th of January, so people are already getting tax bills. That's
Hmm.
fine, but it's just a question of when the mortgage servicer is going to make that payment. So it's still ultimately the homeowner's responsibility, but if they're paying their taxes into escrow, the mortgage
Right.
servicer will be responsible for paying that tax bill. And they probably
Yes.
will, they probably just haven't done it yet.
Okay. Yeah. It was two separate months last year. November timeframe for one of them, and then
Hmm.
October timeframe for the other one.
Hmm.
So okay.
It's the same thing when a homeowner gets an insurance bill. It happens to me all the time. I get so frustrated. I get all these insurance bills. The first thing I do is I contact the mortgage servicer and say, hey, just making sure this bill is in line to be paid. And then the next thing I do is I contact my insurance person. I have an insurance broker that handles all my insurance stuff. And I say, hey, I'm just making sure that this is in line to be paid and that the mortgage company is going to pay it. Because you should never have to write it. If you're paying into escrow, the homeowner should never have to write a check for insurance or taxes. This mortgage company should pay for that. And believe me, if there's a shortage in that escrow, the homeowner will be made aware. And those
Hmm.
hurt. Okay. When you have an escrow shortage, meaning when the mortgage company doesn't have enough money to pay those bills, they pass on that expense to the homeowner, and the homeowner has the option of either paying that difference in full, or they just roll it in to 12 additional payments on top of your mortgage. And those are never fun. So you'll get word if there's not enough money in that escrow. The homeowner will get notified, and then it's up to them on how they want to proceed. So a lot of people will be motivated to protest their taxes and really reevaluate their insurance premiums when they get word that that escrow is short, because you don't want to pay that overage. Sometimes the overage for a lot of people, and I sympathize with people. I get calls about this too. For some people, that overage is crippling, especially with the way taxes have increased and insurance has increased. So they really need to take a hard look at what they're paying for insurance, and they really need to consider protesting their taxes in a lot of those instances. Cool.
Cool. Thank you.
All
Sounds
right, guys.
good.
Well, real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. Thank y'all for tuning in, but y'all hang out real quick. I'm just going to get a photo so we can share it. Let me go ahead and stop the recording here.